Hi everyone, time to wrap up the week. About 10 o'clock on Friday evening here. So if you've been following along this week, we were in this trade here with stop down here, and we instantly broke up above 2R, so we'd moved to break even. Okay, and then on Thursday, price really kind of stayed in this 1R to 3R range. So in the morning here, did have option to trail to below this swing point, but when we're at break even, there wasn't really any benefit in that. I suppose it would just increase our chance of getting stopped out on this next pullback here. So I left my stops at break even at that point. Then we did break up to new highs at the end of Thursday. So I did trail my stop under here and just left it there overnight. So just about locking in 1R with that. And then in the morning we'd continue to make new highs and higher lows. And I think at this point here, I decided to lock in under this swing point here, locking in 2R on the trade, and then when we started retracing from there, then I took the 4R profit. Okay. Now, I mean, you can argue that really I should have continued to trail, and certainly that is an option. But what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to kind of average between the 3 and 5R, 3 and 5R exit point by using this trailing stop. Okay, so I'm trying to average my average return I want between 3 and 5R. Obviously, sometimes you're going to get setups that go beyond that, and the idea is that by trailing slowly at first, you're giving your winning trades an opportunity to go really big, whilst keeping the average winner fairly high. So I'm not 100% sure what the results for this week were. I think it's plus 6R this week, so much better return, mainly due to these last 3 days starting to trend, and hopefully that will continue through next week, because it's been quite rangy on a lot of the yen pairs. I keep saying euro yen, it's actually the dollar yen that these trades are being taken on. I like either of the yen pairs, yen crosses to trade these kind of trend based strategies. Now, the only other thing that I've not really covered, which is something you can do with this, is when you've got to a break even point and you've moved your trade to break even. If price starts rotating higher again, and you're getting higher highs and higher lows, there's no reason you can't add a second trade when this one has been moved to break even. And the advantage of that is when you do get sustained trends like this, you can kind of stack trades up, and you make much higher returns in those trending periods. The downside to it is when price is starting to trend but then just keeps returning back into the range, you're obviously going to take more losses. So it's kind of a pleasure pain thing again. How much pain can you take in return for getting the higher returns? For now, I'm keeping this as really trying to keep this as simple as possible to show that simple strategies that don't require a lot of detailed analysis, beyond is price rising or is price falling, are viable ways to trade, and indeed, I think a lot of successful traders adopt these kind of strategies. Another option, of course, is to diversify by varying the strategy. So this is I suppose this is kind of like a middle. It's not really conservative. It's not really pushing for really high returns, and you could kind of mix this with what we were talking about the other day, where you just go for, say, a 2R and then trail really tightly, so you're going in and out of the market more often, or you could do like I do. I trade alongside this on the euro yen, a strategy that's looking for 5 to 10R. That has much deeper drawdowns and a lot of consecutive losers, routinely does 20 plus consecutive losers, but it makes really high returns. And the secret to that really is by setting your position size really conservatively. And it's quite good to kind of mix two different strategies together like that. I think a lot of people like to, rather than having two different strategies, they'll have one strategy and trade it on multiple pairs. But that really doesn't give you the same sort of diversification that some sort of varying target strategies will give you. So anyway, that's a decent week this week. It was nice really to come back from last week, which is just sort of straight losers all week. If nothing more, just for a little bit of confidence in the strategy going forward. Please leave me some comments below, and any questions you might have, and enjoy the weekend. I'll speak to you all next week.